I was playing poker yesterday with SoFlo Antonio, who I was just talking about with you before we got on here.
YouTube
and
legend.
He has like a bummer of a tale, because it's like they weren't really making money at that time when he was like re-uploading everybody else's content on Facebook, but he was getting an insane amount of likes and like followers on his Facebook pages, right? And then he said 3 or 4 years ago they got blocked by Facebook. So now I don't know if you know, but like a lot of people, if you upload your content to Facebook, this is like a really good revenue stream for a lot of creators. You do that?
Yeah, I put all my shit on Facebook.
Oh, okay, yeah.
So, yeah, it's a slept on market, dude.
Right, and it's like we do crazy shit on there, and I could tell that. So because I announced that we had made 6 figures our first month on Facebook.
Jeez.
And he fucking you can kind of tell he's kind of bummed, because it's like he did all this work of getting all these followers on Facebook, and then they just take the pages away. So now,
and they took it away because it wasn't his content.
He said he got hit for like scam shit or like some kind of like
do it.
imposter. I don't know, some bullshit. Because what he was doing was like he would take your Vine or your Instagram clip in this day and age, and he would like clip it, upload to Facebook with like a 2-second clip of him before it, being like, "This is the craziest thing you'll ever see." And then it's like a clip. Like he innovated that way of stealing people's content to get followers on social media.
Man, yeah, I think usually what happens is somebody finds a loophole, and then Facebook's like, "Well, we can't be doing this," because monetization is 3 minutes on Facebook. I think they changed it. It used to be 3 minutes.
Right.
So everybody's video, if you look back in the day,
3-4 minutes.
Yeah,
these
it would be
days,
like 301. So it'd be right to that. And I remember there was this kid on Facebook, and he had a video that had like 100 million views, and the video was like a prank. It was like 22 seconds. The rest of that like 2 minutes and whatever change was just a blank screen. And I was like, if he cashed out on this, that's legit money. That's like 100K right there.
I've done that in my life of stretching the YouTube video out to hit 10 minutes or whatever, back when that was such a thing.
10 minutes, now it's 8 minutes or whatever the fuck. But like every YouTuber, they find that mark and then they cross it by a second. Right. Everyone's like, my video is 801 or 1001. That's why every video is like 1001.
Right, yeah. The platform draws people to do insane things. Like, you ever look at Paris Hilton's Instagram, and it's like every single photo is a video that like is moving a little bit.
Oh, because it's views.
Yeah. And then TikTok basically incentivizes you to do that, because if you go to upload like a photo to your story, it'll like put a song behind it, or like they make it super easy for you to like cut a couple photos together, and it'll do a little animation or whatever with a song behind it. And those songs are basically like labels paying TikTok to promote the fuck out of their songs by just suggesting it to be the background song in your video, which makes so much sense, because if I had a song and I had millions of people just having it being suggested automatically for their background song, I mean, if you have the money to invest in that, you could basically like create fame, or at least create a huge song out of thin fucking air right there.
Oh, yeah. I mean, with the right marketing budget and the right people that know what they're doing, they can get that shit in front of anybody. Crazy. It's kind of insane. So with the Paris Hilton one, is that just because there's more...
Because Reels get more attention.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay, that makes sense. Yeah, you post a photo on IG, doesn't do shit.
They do better algorithmically,
you post a photo, doesn't do shit for views.
Yeah, the photos are rough these days. Yeah.
Okay, that makes sense.
Yeah, because like I was looking through... a certain influencer's Instagram the other day, and it hasn't posted that much, so I scrolled back, and it's like, oh my god, this guy used to get a couple 100,000 likes, and now he gets like 4,000 likes. But then I was thinking about my page, and I'm like, my ratio is not that much different, because the fucking photos just get so much less play in the algorithm. It used to feel like if you posted a photo that like everyone who followed you and some other people were going to see it, and now it feels like nobody's seeing it.
It doesn't expand past your followers versus like Reels. It's like your people see it, and then it gets shared into the random Reels feed. There's no Reels version of a photo feed where it's just like, I guess there's the explore page, but there's no grid that's like, let's just scroll random people's photos. That would sound insane.
I've been like trying to get more and more into the TikTok mind state over the past couple months, and really like embracing it and trying to use all the features and figure out how to use all the functions and going live and everything. And I think I realized the true nature of TikTok the other day, because I went live and then I'm looking at the summary afterwards, and it said that 9% of my audience on TikTok live was people who followed me.
Yeah, the rest is just random.
So it's like you're playing a fucking slot machine where
100%.
And it even kind of mimics that in a way, because it's like you'll start off and it'll show you, you'll have like, in my case, it's like I get to 1,000. Then it'll trickle off a little bit, and you're almost tempted to get off. It gets down to like 400. Then they sort of reward you for staying on, and it's like, boom, they'll give you a couple thousand or 2,000 people more. They'll suggest you a bunch, and they give you these waves that makes you not want to get off because you know that this next burst of people is coming. It's like the craziest fucking social media mental trickery I've ever witnessed in my life.
Insane.
And it's so different than Instagram, where if I go on Instagram Live right now, it's probably like 98% of people who follow me.
Right, because they send out a notification. But TikTok, I've talked to people that work there, and they're literally like, it's not a followers app. It's just like an app where you just try to hit home runs just to whoever's catching, right? Because how often do you scroll the people you follow feed? No, you just open the For You page, and then you just scroll. Right. And your goal is just to get in there. So it's like you said, it's like gambling, where you're just like, you're just, each pull, you're just trying to be like, did I get in the For You page? Did I get a hit? Did I get a hit on there?
And you just delete your mistakes and move on.
Yeah, I mean,
your misses.
Yeah, but that's what's funny is people will comment on my videos sometimes and be like, this dude never misses. I'll be like, oh, I'd be missing.
You just delete.
I'll be missing.
What's a miss for you though on TikTok? It'll get what, like a couple 100K or something?
Yeah, if it's anything under like 500K, I'll be like, what's going on?
Right.
After like a week, I'll be like, what is this?
Well, because it kind of incentivized that way too, because the stuff that does good will grow over time.
Correct.
It'll grow a lot over time. It still gets suggested a month later.
Yeah.
Whereas the stuff that does bad just basically gets ignored by the algorithm. So it's like, why am I even going to keep this here? Especially when, if it does get an extra 10,000 views, it's like, well, that 10,000 views could have gone to one of the other videos.
Right. Yeah. It's a lot of times it's hard to like think about that, and when it's happening, to be like, you know what, this will grow over time, and this 200K might grow up to like 800 or like 1 million. But also, I do know that if you delete a video and try uploading it a later day, like it might hit again.
Yeah, I've heard. And it's the same platform where people, like, actual strategy from people who know what they're talking about. They'll tell you, make 8 TikToks if you have one video. Upload that video to 8 different TikToks, maybe from different phones. I'm not sure to what extent the IPs matter and stuff like that. Right. But if it hits on one of them, that's your TikTok, and forget about all the other ones.
Right.
That shit is crazy.
That's the account to use. Right.
That's the strategy that makes the most sense given the way that the app is built.
If you're starting out, definitely just post everywhere. But it's a little harder for me because I have an audience that if I post a video, they go, oh, we saw that. And then I delete it. Then the next day I upload it. They go, well, because the first group of people that see it is your audience.
Right.
But then how they react to it shoots it into the For You page.
Right.
So if I just keep re-uploading it, they're going to be like, well, what is this? Yeah. But that's why, like, if you're going to re-upload something, and just so the algorithm doesn't just know what you're doing, change like 2 frames, you know, or switch up a font a little bit.
Add a little sparkle at the end.
Something. Just right. The more you know.
Yeah.
But just adding any of that might trick the algorithm, or it just tricks our brains mentally. But that's also what's tough, is like, you can post something, if it doesn't hit, you just re-upload it.
When did you realize the potential of TikTok?
I think it was somebody reached out to me and was like, you gotta get on TikTok. And
what year we're talking? Because
I think it was 2019.
They called me to their office and had a meeting with me, telling me that I needed to get more on TikTok in, like, I forget, but maybe 2015.
Oh, why I got on there? Somebody sent me, one of my videos was popping off on there. Somebody just ripped it and the sound was going off. And then that was just kind of like what you were saying earlier about like on some like old man, like, oh, well, what's going on here? And I was like, my thought process behind it was like, if anybody's going to be getting these views, it should be me. So then I saw the video that went big, and then I uploaded that video. And then I had been making videos for like 3 years before that. So I had a back catalog, and I just started uploading old shit mixed with random stuff. And then I just saw how much things could grow. It had the same virality as a Twitter video, but the Twitter view to follow ratio was god awful. But on TikTok, the follow button was right there. So it made things so easy for videos to pop off and then people to follow. And I think since I had a recognizable face from YouTube, people were like, oh shit, he's on here. Right. So I just threw up a whole catalog. And then it's like addicting because it's like gambling. You're like, oh shit, this one hit. And then I just kind of started focusing on that. And Instagram started to die out or whatever the fuck.
Bro, I see, like, there's a girl I know. I don't know her well, but like I knew her 'cause she was like a friend of mine's roommate at a certain point, and she like posts on TikTok, had one TikTok get to like 200K, right? Yeah. Because she has like some ridiculously low number of followers. So this was like the most thrilling thing that ever happened to her in her life. Maybe she had a couple other ones that got to 100K. She now is like the old lady at the slot machine, just waking up every fucking day and making TikToks about everything that happens in her life. They're getting like 400 views, but she is just playing the game over and over and
that's
over.
a good way to put it. You're playing the game.
Because all it is to her is this gives her this tiny glimpse of being able to flirt with fame. And as a person,
but it pays off if you get it right.
Right? Yeah, and
it's kind of like what do people say? Like chasing the dragon. It's like you get that first sense. It's like you get that first feeling, and you're like, how do I find that again? I felt that with stand up. The first time I ever did a show, I was 17, and I got this big pop of laughter, and I was like, holy fuck! Like this feeling I've never had. How do I keep getting that? So I understand where she's coming from.
Yeah, like she has a normal job, so it's like, and probably never at any point in her life, realistically, did she think that she had a shot at stardom. So imagine what those 200,000 views feels like. It must feel like the most addictive fucking thing 100%. To have that little chance of getting that exposure.
Yeah.
All right, people, we just hit 300,000 subscribers. You know we're trying to hit 400,000 subscribers. So that little red button, tap it, tap in. Appreciate y'all.